Hello everyone, I thought I'd publish another video, seeing as there aren't too many content creators out there working on stop cylinder presses. Here we're gonna see Magnus Dahl creating his work Coral Garden. Lovely touche structures. Magnus has been in the shop and drawn his image on the stone. We put the stone in the machine and are currently dropping the very first layer, sort of brownish purple, and all subsequent colors will be printed from the same stone in a type of lost stone approach, whereby we counter etch and reapply parts that need to be drawn while keeping the stone locked in the machine for perfect registration. As you can see, Alex is feeding sheets with the first color, the run printed its entirety, and here we are dropping a light orange, which Magnus has drawn in over the ghost of his key drawing. As a third color, we are just printing what you could call a rainbow roll of brown orange in the top, and then much more translucent part in the bottom, sort of open up the range of colors. Fourth color is this sort of sap green, printed very, very translucent, just to turn parts of the yellow that we've printed previously, parts of the orange, into some kind of a mint, watery green vibe. And again, for each color we run the entirety of the edition. The lovely thing with this approach is that the artist gets to react to every decision that he or she has taken, and then gets to try to, veer the work into the next direction. Here we can see Magnus remove parts. We've printed this translucent blue layer, and then we've printed it at much higher strength before. Obviously that turns the work entirely to blue, and Magnus works now reductive, opening up certain parts of the drawing, and this is the blue that we're now printing. As you can see on the stone, there's very few areas that actually print, just putting these cyan highlights top and sort of a shadow for one of the larger corals in the bottom. Here at the front of the machine, Magnus takes out the printed sheets, and as our quality control, I make sure moisture levels and ink levels are as they need be. And as you can see, the colors that we drop are usually quite transparent, so the key drawing never really gets obfuscated. Usually it shines through quite well. The ink I'm giving is looser than you would have it for hand-pressed stone lithography, but still fairly stiff. It's always a compromise between an ink that runs well on the press and an ink that is stiff enough to keep details. and he came up with a crayon drawing in covering white, titanium white, that would lie on top of the coral and sort of introduce a second type of structure. We ended up dropping it twice. This is the second run. You can already see the white on the sheets that Alex is feeling, and with the covering white, titanium white printed twice, it pops quite nice. And as you can see in the close-ups here. And with that, here's an intermission. Our rowdy upstairs neighbor, the squirrel, making one of his daily appearances. There's also a badger living underneath the print shop. I know that they can sort of dig around the foundations and all that, but he's also my friend, or I'm very fond of badgers, so he gets to enjoy a few winters more of relative warmth. On the stone, we decided to counter the white with a bit of hot pink. Here I'm gumming the stone. As with all lost plates, we always pull one print of the future color, and then in this case Magnus gets the chance to see the current state and the next possible state side by side and make decisions. And we ended up printing some sort of a fade where Magnus reduced certain parts of the pink to give it this sort of more blooming effect, as you can see on the stone, and you'll also see on the print, with the hot pink sort of just appearing in the middle of the coral, rounding out the image. And I think that was the last color we printed. I lost track, but I think it was 10 colors, and bit of gratuitous machine porn for you. And here's the final work: Coral Garden by Magnus Dahl, printed at Blackheart Press in Småland. Thank you for watching.